Eric McCormack, how are you?
How are you?
I am fantastic. It is so great to see you.
Thank you.
And the new show, Perception, honestly, so super cool. So for those that are just tuning in that maybe don't know, so you're a neuroscience teacher.
Yes.
And you get sort of recruited by a student to help out with like criminal cases.
Yes, an ex-student, Rachel Lee Cook, we should all have such cute ex-students, is now with the FBI, and she comes to use me for my expertise, which would be totally a good and fine thing to do if I weren't living with paranoid schizophrenia, which is not entirely a secret, but it's basically something he does not share with the world. So a lot of his responses on crime scenes or at the FBI are entirely inappropriate and paranoid.
Well, this is perfect because back to school is next Tuesday, so I'd love to set the standard that all teachers are crazy.
Yeah. I can't say crazy. I'm way too sympathetic here. He is. I think it's where we're trying to be careful. We can't do a lot of nutty professor jokes because it's not. It's something. His illness is something we take very seriously, particularly because as an expert on the brain, he is someone that should know better than anyone how to control his own symptoms, and yet he's not on his meds. Yeah. So he's walking a very fine line.
What did you learn? Because I think we'll get the first season in Canada, but you've started doing the second season? Or
no, we just got picked up for second season. The first season that starts airing on the 5th on Bravo at 9 o'clock. In fact, it's only started airing 7 weeks ago. So it's still very fresh. It's happening right now. And it's been very strange because as a Canadian, I wanted my countrymen to be watching it at the same time. Yeah. And there's all this tweeting going on, and I've been live tweeting as the shows have been on, and yet I don't want. And people up here have been kind of like, la la la, I'm not listening.
But the reviews have been amazing.
It's been okay. The response has been great. So the initial reviews, I think it was very easy for a lot of reviewers to go, I've seen this kind of show before. Well, I think it's a new genre. I swear, this is a new genre of detectives that are as messed up as some of the criminals that have their own interesting, quirky storyline.
It's funny you touched on that because there are a lot of criminal shows, but I think that the reason why they do well is because we all love to sit at home and sort of play along in that whodunit and try and help solve the case.
I think there's two aspects of it. One, for sure, is that, playing along whodunit, which I think the Law and Order sort of genre satisfied quite well for 20 years without the detectives being that big a part of it. They were interchangeable in Dick Wolf's eyes. Now, I think with this sort of new genre of Dexter and Monk and House, people are looking for their lead character to have as much going on as the actual story, as the crime. And that mix, I think, is making for more interesting, unpredictable shows.
Because there are so many aspects to your character, and being the fact that there's schizophrenia involved and crime solving, did you learn anything while doing this character? Did you really get into your character and maybe have, as you mentioned, sympathy for people who have schizophrenia, as well as kind of learning how people solve crimes at the same time?
Well, we've seen a lot of crime solving on television for years. What we haven't seen a lot of is academia. Really, there's lots of high school shows. I don't think there's a university show on that anybody can know. Not since
No, it really ends at Degrassi.
Yeah. So the idea of an academic setting, a professorial setting, is exciting, and I had to learn a lot about that to make sure that was accurate. Yeah. But more than anything, when you represent mental illness, you've got to do your research, and I did learn a lot. And I think, hopefully, if we get to show anything, it's that I think most people's experience with schizophrenia, if they have any, is the guy on the street corner who's lost his job and his livelihood because he is mentally ill, and we're all just like, look at the crazy guy, look at the guy talking to himself. And when you realize he's not talking to himself, he is truly talking to the voices in his head, and those are very real, and I think it's part of what this show does visually, kind of like The Beautiful Mind did, is to show that for people living with the condition, it's absolutely real. Those people, they're hallucinating, they feel like it touched them.
Well, I have schizophrenia in my family, so I don't know if this has happened yet with the show, but have people reached out to say thank you for showcasing something like that?
It started to happen. It's like anything else. Honestly, to go back 12, 13 years, it's like Will and Grace. When we started, we didn't know if people were going to be like, don't try to show my lifestyle. You can't do my lifestyle in a sitcom. And eventually there was a lot of...
Oh, honey, we're going to touch on that in a second.
All right, we'll get to that. But with this, it was the same thing. I thought, are we going to receive... is there going to be backlash? Not even backlash so much as just people not open to it in the first place. And because we are trying to destigmatize it, we're trying to show up very high functioning. A guy that holds a university position, and should. It's only outside of his sphere of comfort that his symptoms really rear their ugly head, and they do get ugly. They're going to get quite ugly by the end of the season. And I think it's responsible to show that, as well as it is to show someone who can function quite well in society. So yeah, there has been a very positive response.
Speaking of Will and Grace, 2 points here. One, as a gay man, we love you, but we also are very mad at you because why is there nobody that's out there that's like you that is gay, that is as perfect as your character was? Like, I watched the show with my fiance and we're like, but he's straight in real life. WTF?
Well, I love the guys on Modern Family. I think they're crushing it. I think they're great. But I mean, it was a bit of a fantasy. With that first season, he was too perfect, and I said, "Where are the quirks? Come on, this guy has to be." So he became much more neurotic as time went on. But
do you still get stopped as you're walking around, and people think that you're Will?
No, but people still call me Will, not necessarily because they think I'm Will, because they don't actually know my name. They just, but what's been fun is that when the show ended, my kid was only 3. So he never saw it. He was on the set, but doesn't remember it.
Yeah.
But now at 10, we're sort of letting him watch some, because it's on at 9 o'clock in the morning on Sundays. It's like it's no longer.
So you actually watch yourself on TV?
I have not for years, and lately, on Sunday mornings on W, because we've been in Vancouver all summer.
Yeah.
They show the reruns like 2 and 3 in a row, and we've been sitting, and I've been having a great time. I got to tell you.
Now, do you watch as a fan, or do you watch going, "Oh my God, I said that line wrong"? Or
no, it's probably the only thing I've ever done where I don't sit and criticize. I just it was such a joy to do, and it looked so beautiful. It was so well designed. We had great sets. Everything about it was shot so beautifully. So I think it still holds up.
Well, I speak for the entire gay community. I speak for all the gays in the world when we say thank you for doing such an amazing show.
On behalf of all the straights, welcome.
Now, your son's 10 now?
My son is 10.
Okay, while you're in town, are you going to take him to the C&E? It ends this weekend.
Bizarrely, he's not with me, though I tried to bring him.
Okay.
But we went to the P&E on the other coast.
Not the same. Not the same. It's really not the same.
It's not. I haven't been to the C&E in a long time. But,
and what grade is he going into, your son?
4th grade.
Oh, wow. And school starts back up on Tuesday. Are you ready for back to school?
We're getting ready for school, but I'm going to miss the first day of school for the whole first week of school for a very cool reason. I'm going to the Democratic National Convention next week. Because this movie I did with Rob Lowe called Knife Fight is getting his premiere there. It's a political movie. So we're doing a screening of that, and then I get to go to the convention floor, and I'm introducing Governor Jerry Brown, and I'm going to get to hear Obama.
That's all fantastic and stuff, but your son needs you. It's the first week of school.
My son needs me to help get Obama back in the office.
Yes.
So that we, are not forced to leave the country.
I want to touch on something else before we get wrapped up. It was October of last year, and you did something that brought me to tears at home when you sang with Burton Cummings. When you sang in front of him on stage at Canada's Walk of Fame. First of all, I'm the biggest Guess Who fan. Maybe even more so than you.
What?
Yes. And when you did that, I was next to my fiancé, Matt. I was bawling my eyes out. But one of those cries where you don't want anyone to see. You're like, oh, there's dust in the air. Brilliantly done.
Thank you. That was, for years, I used to do a show. I wanted to do it again. The Gildas Club would do every year here in town.
It's always something.
It's always something. Usually November. I think this year it's November 17th or 21st. I'm not sure. But I did about 5 or 6 of those. And every year I would try to get Burton Cummings to come and do it. I wanted to duet with him or something. And it was he was so hard to pin down. So the year before, the year I was given the star in the Walk of Fame here in town, they surprised me by having Burton. He sang Sour Sweet. He just
did you rehearse when you did?
Well, that I rehearsed, but just for once.
Share the Land is the song that you did.
I did Share the Land and Glamour Boy and Break It To Him Gently as a medley, but I only did it with his band once that afternoon, and he didn't know that I was doing it with him.
I wanted to sing with you.
Well, what now?
Yeah. Share the Land.
Okay.
Because I was watching that going, wow, that's so amazing, because I sing that song in the shower all the time.
Okay, well, let's find a key.
Okay. Like a key to a door, or?
Yeah, no. Just the key to the door to get out.
Okay.
Have you been around?
Have you done your share of coming down?
Same key, though, I think. On different things that people do. Have you been aware?
You've got brothers and sisters who care about what's gonna happen to you in a year from now.
Nice.
Take it away, Eric.
Maybe I'll be there to shake your hand.
Maybe I'll be there to share the land. I'll be giving away. We all live together. Talking about together now.
Nice.
All right, let's end
That's
on this.
Canadian. Now,
That is truly Canadian.
Yeah.
Why should people tune in to Perception? Because seriously, everything you do is so awesome. I want people to watch this show.
Thank you. We got a lot of competition, I think, on that night, but I'm really proud of the show, and I think it will surprise. What I found by tweeting with everybody of the last sort of 7 weeks in the States is that people are truly surprised week after week. They think they know what it is now. I got it after 3 episodes. 4th episode surprises them. 5th. I think there's going to be a lot of twists and turns, not just in the plots and the crimes, but in where the characters are going.
Oh my God, I have to ask. Are you, because people were telling me to ask you this on Twitter, and I have like such a horrible mind, I forget stuff, but I didn't. Are you going to, by any chance, ever do like a guest appearance on Smash with Deborah Messing?
I kind of doubt it. I know Sean's going to do one this season. But, I just think it'd be very hard to have Will and Grace on the same screen together and ask people to believe it.
Are you watching Smash? Did you tell her that you
I
love it?
saw most of it last year, yeah.
What a great show.
It's a good show.
She's doing great.
She is.
And you are as well. So congratulations on such a great show. And
you,
I hope everybody... And I sang with you.
You did! We sang together.
Thank you so much.
All right, brother.
That was awesome. Thank you.